Oh, hello. Come on over. Grab yourself a coffee and sit down. We'll have a chat. Well, hello there. You've got yourself a coffee. Well, it's not so cold today. Oh, when I was at the duck pond the other day, at the mere, Hornsey Mere, it was 4 degrees. When I got home, I checked the fridge and that's 5 degrees. So it was warmer in my fridge than it was down at the mere. Oh, cool. Anyway, I've never been so glad of a heated steering wheel. Now, if you'd asked me a year ago if I needed a heated steering wheel, I would have said, nah, it's just no, rubbish. That's heated steering wheel. What would I need one of those for? Anyway, come in handy after freezing my butt off down the lake. Anyway, how are you? You good? Yeah, so am I. I'm pretty good as well. Apart from, I bent down yesterday because, yeah, the lady Sarah, in her attempt to turn down Alexa, she turned it off. So I tried, I was pulling my hair out. I didn't know what to do because it was just this red bar at the bottom of the screen for Alexa, and it was saying that it it just wasn't responding to anything. So I switched it off, I switched it on, I then rebooted it and rebooted it a second time, and I'm getting to the point where I'm going to have to phone up somebody. Anyway, that's when I looked on top. Yeah, I should have done that first. Anyway, I looked on top. The controls aren't quite visible. You have to look behind, slightly behind. Anyway, on my Alexa unit, the controls are behind. So anyway, I looked behind and there she turned it off. Instead of turning the volume down, she turned it off. So why she didn't just say, Alexa, volume down, I don't know. Anyway, so that's anyway. As I bent down to unplug the Alexa unit, I banged my head on the mantelpiece and there was loads of blood coming out. Wasn't very pleasant. So that's why I didn't do a video yesterday, because I was going to do a video yesterday. So what else was I going to say? Oh yes, this Bovair lark. Now there's a lady on YouTube that runs a channel called, I think it's British Budget Cooking UK. That's right. I think that's. I'll put the link in the description. Anyway, she seems a rather pleasant lady. So I'll give her a big up and put her description in the video. But yeah, she goes around all the supermarkets at the moment, as well as doing cooking programs, little tiny shows on cooking and how to make scones and stuff like that. If you have an air fryer, she has a double air fryer, which means that instead of having the two separate drawers like we've got, she's got one big drawer that you can put a divider in. Well, we've only got the we've got the two separate drawers. You can't remove the divider, which means that it's a pain in the arse. Anyway, so Sarah might get a Christmas present next year, but we'll see. Oh, I needed that coffee. Oh, I really do. Anyway, big aeroplane going over. Yeah, she does all this Bovair stuff. She goes around to all the supermarket and looks at the milk and dairy, and then looks at the codes, and she puts the farm that the code represents, puts that on screen. Obviously, if it's Arla or contains Bovair, she'll let you know. But so far, she's found that quite a lot of stuff in M&S is Arla free, and same with wouldn't believe it, Poundland and Homebase, and what's the other one? Something Bargains. Anyway, they all sell milk. I didn't know they sold milk. Anyway, that's a new one on me. But yeah, they sell Bovair free milk, and White's cheeses. They're also Bovair free. You know, it's not the fact that they're trying to. For the love of God, I don't know why they're tampering with our wildlife, but it's a fact that it's not been adequately tested. Safe and effective is what they say, but is it safe and effective? Apparently, one of the things that I've heard is that the cows are suffering from smaller ovaries. Well, I don't want my ovaries shrinking, do you? No, not that I've got any. But if that's just one of the side effects, that they hadn't planned for in cows, then I'm pretty much against it, really. I think, for a start, they're claiming that cows fart. Well, cows don't actually fart. They burp more than fart. Yeah, you might get a little bit of methane coming out of their droppings, shall we say, but that's mostly because they burp, and it's because of the microbes and the bugs inside their bodies that are breaking down the cellulose from the grass that they eat, and one of the byproducts is methane. Now, one farmer that I was listening to the other day was saying that there is a certain loop when it comes to methane. It only stays in the atmosphere for, say, we'll call it, for the sake of arguments, we'll call it 10 years. It's actually 12 years, but we'll just say 10 for round numbers. Now, if you have a cow that produces 10 tons of methane a year, that will stay in the atmosphere for 10 years. So each year that cow is there, it's producing 10 tons. So at the end of 10 years, you've got 1,000 tons of methane in the atmosphere. Now, after 10 years, the first 10 tons of methane will disappear. So at the end of 11 years, you've still got 1,000 tons of methane in the atmosphere. You haven't got any extra. Now, the same goes for a whole farm. If you've got a whole farm of cows, at the end of 10 years, there's the same amount of methane in the atmosphere as there was 10 years ago. It doesn't increase, it doesn't get any bigger. So as long as we don't increase our dairy farms, which at the moment I don't think they are, because the milk is not selling. Bovaer or Arla milk is not selling in the shops. And for another thing, methane in the atmosphere is only 0.0017%. That's right, it's 1.7 parts per million in the atmosphere. That's a tiny, tiny fraction. It's absolutely amazing. It's such a small number, and yet we're told we have to worry about it. This is at the same time that the Americans are trying to bring back the bison on the plains of America. Yeah, I know, it's amazing, isn't it? What else is it? What else have I been up to? Oh, there's all sorts of stuff I've been delving into. Rachel Reeves has been lying again. There's no sign of these 850 houses per day, is there? That Ginger Growler said that she was going to instigate. That ain't happening, is it? And of course, we've got Starmer causing trouble in Europe again. More of that later. Anyway, it's like you say, the weather's getting nicer, and I can see the sun beginning to poke through the clouds there. Just need a little bit of this global warming to warm us up a bit, which is funny, really, because if you follow the models, the weather models that they say here, is there's going to be the UK is going to get colder, which I can't see it happening. I can remember 20 odd years ago listening to Al Gore, and he was saying that sea levels were going to be over our heads in 20 years time. Well, I'm still waiting for the sea levels to come up an inch, let alone come up over my head. Yeah, I know. Anyway, getting a bit too political for a chit chat. What's the time? Oh, getting on for 9 minutes. Like I say, if I go over the 8 minutes, I won't, on these little tiny talkies, I won't put in the midterm adverts, really, just to keep you. I wouldn't watch it if there was adverts in there. Just someone chatting away, like you do. What else has been happening? Oh, yeah, the car's absolutely brilliant. The being a hybrid like it is, like I say, I have no control how fast the battery charges or how fast the battery discharges. It won't go above 75% capacity, and it won't go below 25% capacity. So the automation looks after the battery management of my vehicle, which I'm rather pleased with. On my way, I was driving out the other day. I went to the local farm shop, which is the other side of town, going eastwards, Went to the local farm shop to buy some milk, and I got 50. That's right. I got 58 miles per gallon on the way there because it's slightly downhill. But on the way back, I got 48 miles per gallon. That's simply because there's a lot of tight turning roads that wander around like this, and I was using the regenerative braking to recoup some energy to put back into the system. I thought that's absolutely fantastic, getting 58 miles to the gallon. For the first part of my journey home, the battery was fully charged, and for the first mile or so, I was actually getting 78 miles to the gallon. But it soon dropped down as soon as I started to use the engine, which is something. But like I say, I should do another video on the benefits of hybrids. Really, the only worry that I have is the fact that it is a lithium. But like I said, I have no control over it. I'm not tempted to fast charge it, and I'm not tempted to fast discharge it either by ragging it on the motorway. If I do that, the engine kicks in, and as I'll explain in the next video, how I did at one point think that the engines helped you to accelerate from the start line to get you up to speed. Then it's not the case in my engine. But anyway, we'll talk about that on the next video, which will probably be tomorrow or the day after. Yeah. So I'm not going to get confused with Thursday and Friday, if that's what you're thinking. Yeah, I've actually looked at my watch and said it says it's Thursday. Oh no, yeah, it is Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. You know what it's like. Where if you're retired, I know there's a couple of people that I know that are retired, and they know what it's like being at home from sea. You tend to forget what day it is, especially when you've got no routine. You've got nothing to do. Anyway, oh yes, I had a phone call yesterday morning saying, could I come for an eye appointment? Yeah, this is to have a look at this is diabetic retinal screening that they do. Anyway, I went to see them, and they maybe do an eye chart, maybe read the eye chart. Anyway, my left eye, blimey, that's deteriorated, because I had an eye test and got these new glasses back in July, I think it was. Yeah, things haven't really got any better. It's got worse. But yeah, anyway, I've got this new drug now, new diabetic drug. I'll have to tell you all about it. If I can pronounce the name, something or other. Anyway, I'll get the blurb out later on and do another video on that. But yes, this replaces the Victoza that I was on. I don't know if you remember, I did a video about Victoza and how good it made me feel. But anyway, there's an alternative now, which my new doctor has prescribed me. My first visit, new drug, brilliant. So I started that yesterday. That's right. I picked up on Tuesday. Picked up the medication on Tuesday and started my first dose Wednesday morning. I'm taking half a dose now for the first week. I'll probably extend it to about 10 days because I'm going to run out before the end of my sea voyage. I'm going to run out. So if I go half dose for the next 10 days, that will give me the next 25 odd days, the full dosage. So hopefully I'll have enough until I get home. So we'll see. But yeah, it's so far my blood sugar levels. Tuesday morning, blood sugar levels were 18 before breakfast. I don't know what I'd eaten the night before. Anyway, there were 11 yesterday, and this morning my blood sugar levels were 10. So that's good. It's coming down. It's coming back down to what's normal. Yeah, anything between 5 and 8 is normal. So give it a few more days, and my blood sugar levels should come down. Obviously, I'm trying to cut down, but you know how hard it is. It's worse than giving up smoking, because when you give up smoking, you just stop smoking. But when you're trying to lose weight, you can't just stop eating, because you have to keep eating to keep going. So it is quite hard, and especially if you're like me, you just because I've got the gastric bypass, I don't feel hungry and I don't feel full, so it's one of those things. But I do feel empty sometimes. I do feel empty, which means I need to eat something. But I don't get the hunger pains that you might get. Yeah. Anyway, rabbited on for too long. So I'm just gonna do a Battlefield video now because I put a video out the other day. Somebody commented on it about Battlefield coming back, so I feel it's duty bound to do another Battlefield video. So we'll see. Anyway, so I've got on for blimey. That's 15 minutes. I've ranted on for 15 minutes, so I'm going to stop it here and try and get it posted. Anyway, happy Thursday, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye then.